Hi there, Marcus here from Refai. In this video, we're going to be going through the features of the new Refai app. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you're looking at here on the dashboard and what all of the features do and how to best utilize this app. Now, obviously, when you first log in, you're going to be seeing an empty app, and we'll go through the setup phase in the next video. But in this app, I just wanted to point out the really useful features so that you can navigate your way around. So when you first log in, you'll notice that we have this onboarding wizard here. And so this will take you through the key features. So up the top here, you've got the video tutorial, which you're probably watching right now. And as we click along, you'll see here, it'll show you the button if you have any technical issues or you need some support. This is how you can email our team directly and they can respond. If you need to make calculations whilst you're using the app, because at different stages you might need to break down yearly costs into monthly costs and that sort of thing, you can click this little button here. And as you can see, that'll populate a calculator within the app. Over on the left-hand column here, this is where you can input all of your data. So you've got your income, you can either input that or update that here. You've got your mortgages or investment property mortgages, which you can add and update here. Then you've got your loans, and then you've got your expenses, and then you can input your assets here. This next one is if you want to book a call, you can click this button and you can book a call with one of our team at any stage. And if you have booked a call at any stage, you can check on the status of that meeting in the My Meetings tab. And if you want to update your profile, or if you want to change your password, or if you want to delete your account, that can all be done in the Settings tab here. Okay, let's just close the calculator. So I'll take you through what we're looking at here, and then we'll walk through how this app works. Now, one of the things that we decided to do when we created this app was we wanted to make it a one-page budgeting tool, or a one-page tool, because what we found with a lot of the different products on the market is, yes, they were really powerful, but they were all really complicated to use, and you almost needed the PhD to navigate your way through the different features and the different systems within those products. And so we know that people are time poor. They don't want to sit down and have to learn something so complicated. So we decided to make it a one-page app, so all of your data, all of the tools, all of the outputs were represented on one simple page. So you can sit down in front of your laptop, your computer, pour yourself a cuppa, and easily understand where your numbers are at. So I'll start with these top cards here. So these are the 5 cards that we consider most critical to your financial position. So you've got your net cash flow. So this is your monthly net cash flow. So this is how much money is left at the end of the month after you pay all your bills. Then you've got your net assets. So this is, if you were to liquidate all of your assets, this is what you'd be left holding, as far as this would be your net asset position. Then we've got your total debts. So this is the total amount of debts that we have owing currently, outstanding generally against these net assets. So this is your mortgage balances, your loan balances, your credit card balances, and that sort of thing. Then we've got your savings balance here, which is pretty straightforward. And then we've got this really cool one called the retirement shortfall, which is being pulled from the retirement readiness calculator here, which I will explain in more detail in a further video. But this is a really powerful number, and effectively this is the savings target that we have before we reach retirement in order to maintain our current lifestyle. So it's a really cool formula that we use there. Okay, so going through here, the way that this app works is it works on these 6 containers. You've got 3 containers at the top, and then our 3 containers at the bottom. Now we have 2 effectively data capture containers. So we've got our income and assets on this side, and our costs and expenses on this side. So all of the data that we input when we go through the side panel will then populate over here into the front panel, and you can then see them clearly here. So in the income and assets here, it's just a breakdown of all of your income. So you've got your salaries, if you've got any rental income, dividend income, and any other income that you might have coming in, and then that'll total that there for you. We then break down your primary residence and your investment property to show you how much you have currently owing on that and how much equity you might have accumulated in either of those properties, and then you've got the total down here as well. After that, we've got a list of all of your assets, from savings right through to superannuation, and so all of your assets that you've got listed will be represented here, and will give you a nice total there, so you can keep on top of your asset position at any given time. Then this little bottom section is just your emergency savings fund target. Now we set this at 6 months, so you can see there's 6 months income, because we truly believe that that's the amount that every average family should have in savings, so that if anything happens, that you can sustain your current lifestyle, pay your mortgage, pay your bills, and look after things for at least a minimum of 6 months. So this will just show you here what that target would look like for yourself and what your current shortfall is at the moment based on what your current savings level is. Then over here on your costs and expenses, we've got all your costs and expenses broken down for you. So we've got your tax at the top here. Now we pre-calculate that for you because our input does work on your gross income, because we do believe it's important that people understand how much they're actually spending on tax, because there are potential levers there you can look at with your accountant to potentially reduce that. So then we've got your mortgages, your debt, housing, and all the different categories that we've set up. And you can easily click on any of these and see the breakdown of where your money's going at any given time. Okay, so they're the two data inputs or the two data collection containers. Now we've got our two data output containers. Okay, so this one here is your cash flow report. So this one here, if you hover over, it just breaks down what percentage of your income, and this is your gross income, is going to what expense. So as you can see in this scenario, I'm paying around 23% of my income to tax, around 34% into my mortgages, and around 14% into my total debts. And so you can go through here and you can eyeball and itemize all of your different expenses based on what percentage of your total income they're taking on a monthly basis. You can also see in this chart below, we've itemized the same figures, but in a more digestible way where you can actually still see the totals, but more importantly, you can see these green tickers here where it'll tell you whether your cost has gone up or whether it's gone down based on your previous month. So it'll just enable you to kind of identify if you're overspending, or if in a better scenario, you're spending less in a certain category. Then we've got the retirement readiness calculator over here. This is a really powerful tool. The way that we explore this is very much the now. This is our current position, and this is our future position based on when we're going to retire. So the way that this calculator works is it takes into account all of our current assets, and it also calculates the amount of savings you may have if you achieve your savings goal between now and when you retire. And it also calculates how much super projected you should have for yourself and your partner based on what your contributions are yearly. Now, we don't add any predictive modeling to investments like shares and crypto or precious metals and these sort of things, just because with investments, they also have the risk of going backwards as well. And I'll talk more about the calculators you can use if you do want to check what they might be worth in the future. But for the sake of this, the safest way to do this is to not build in any predictive modeling on that. But with the savings and with the shares, we're really comfortable that you should be able to hit those markers. So it's important we build those in. Now, your retirement fund here, the target, this is based on your current lifestyle and spending, minus any debts. So minus your mortgage payments, minus your your credit card or loan payments, because those loan payments won't be there in retirement or shouldn't be there in retirement. But this is the best way to measure what your expenses will be in retirement, is to just work off your current lifestyle, because we believe that you should be trying to work towards a self-funded retirement that maintains your current lifestyle at a minimum. We don't want to see anybody going backwards. Yes, you can scrimp and save and give up things in retirement, but that's not the golden retirement that we're all working towards and that we're all promised when we first started working many years ago. So this is the ultimate goal here for you based on your numbers. And so then what we do is we take this and then we reduce this figure by how much we have currently or projected in assets. And then that gives us that current shortfall. And so that current shortfall there is then divided by how many years you have left in the workforce. So if we take this figure and divide it by how many years left working, in this scenario, it means that I will have to save around $30,000 each year in order to achieve that target. So I can either save for that, or I can look at investments and different strategies to try and earn that money before I get to retirement. And this just breaks down the weekly savings required. So in this scenario here, I would be required to save around $580 per week in order to reach this figure here by the time I retire. Okay, so that's a really powerful tool. It's a really fun tool. You can play around with the numbers in there as well and run different scenarios, which I'll talk more about in another video. Okay, so the next two buckets or the next two containers that we work from are our calculators. So we've got our mortgage calculator here, and this is just a really powerful tool just to help you understand your current mortgage situation. So it'll just break down how much total owing you have on a mortgage based on what your input here. More importantly, how much interest is still owing on that mortgage. So as you can see here on a $500,000 mortgage, I still owe in excess of $600,000 in interest. Now these next two features are really cool. If I want to see what that repayment figure would be here, if it was interest only, then I can just toggle this on and that'll show me here the interest only figure. Now if I want to see how much sooner I can pay off my mortgage by paying extra payments, now this works on a monthly scenario. If I was to pay, say, an extra $200 a month off that, that'll then calculate how much sooner I'll pay that mortgage off. And as you can see there, it went from 30 years down to 26 years. Okay, so it's a really powerful tool. And the concept here is, if we know where we are currently and we know what we're trying to achieve, then we can use this calculator to run different scenarios to see what might help us get us there faster. So with the goal of this being that if we can go through and really scrutinize where our spending's going and where we might have some wastage, then we can take that wastage and then put it into our mortgage. And in this case, we can see how much we can save off our mortgage. So it's a really powerful tool when used in combination with the other buckets. Then down the bottom here, we've got our second tool, which is our investment tool. So we've got the asset growth predictor. So going back to the the retirement readiness calculator here, we don't do these calculations because we didn't want to err on the side of giving false financial kind of predictions. So what we've done here is we've built a calculator so you can manually make these adjustments and that you can run these tests. So let's say that my crypto portfolio here is 7,000. If I want to see what that 7,000 might be worth over time, and let's say I think that it's going to grow annually at 5%, and I've got, let's say, 12 years that I'm going to hold that. If I hit calculate, that'll show you what that portfolio should be worth in 12 years' time at that growth rate. Now, this is a compounded calculator, so this takes in compounded interest, and so it'll give you a fairly accurate position based on an investment's growth rate if that growth rate maintains year on, year out as an average over that term. Then below here is a great cash flow or an asset cash flow calculator. So this one here predominantly is used for investing in probably real estate, working out whether it's a positive cash flow or negative cash flow property, but it can also be used for share portfolios and things of the like if you are using, I guess, debt to purchase those. So if you're going into a loan to buy shares and that sort of thing. So let's say we look at here. So we'll enter monthly income. So this would be the rent on the investment property. Let's say we're getting $500 a week. Monthly expenses, let's say there's $200 in management fees for the month and maintenance. And then let's say the loan repayments are somewhere around sort of $4,200. Then we hit the calculate. And as you can see here, this would show me that that property would be monthly, would be negative geared $442. And on the weekly, it would be negative $111. And you can also come up here if you want to check out what it might cost you for that repayment. So you can run scenarios up here. So let's say we were purchasing a property for $600,000 and we're able to get a 5% interest rate over 30 years. As you can see here, the monthly repayments would be $3,421. Let's say we want to put that on interest only because we're going to start the investment property on interest only for the first few years to help us get ahead of that. Okay, so it's $2,500. Then you can come down here and we can now readjust this, and then we can run that scenario again. And as you can see there, now in this scenario, we're positive geared. So yeah, it's a great little tool just to help you better understand your data. And that was one of the core focuses of this product, is we didn't want to just do a standard budgeting tool. We wanted to create a tool that both was something that you could use to look at your data, but to help you also interpret it and then give you tools that you can then use to run different scenarios so that you can actually make decisions off the back of that data as well. And now the last thing I'll talk to you about in the dashboard is these one-click reviews. So effectively what we've decided to do, or what we've built in here, is the ability for you to contact a mortgage broker or one of our team whenever you need a review of your sort of situation. Because what we found, the thing that stands in the way of most people getting regular reviews on their finance is just that how complicated it is to get that information. And so what we wanted to do, one of the goals we wanted to build in with this, was giving you the ability that you can get regular updates and regular reviews on your situation at the click of a mouse. So if you want a mortgage reduction review, you can simply come in here, click this button here, and you can book an appointment with one of our team, and then they'll reach out to you after reviewing your file and give you all that information that you need. So you can do that for an interest rate review or refinance, you can do it for debt consolidation, or you can do it for a mortgage reduction strategy. And the next thing is, if you do have an interaction with anyone from our team at any stage, you can also come in here and leave a direct review, because we really love hearing feedback from our customers, and we think it's critical for us to improve our services to continually get that feedback from our consumers and our customers. So if you've had any interaction whatsoever, you should be able to find your consultant in here. You should be able to leave a review, and then they will get the review and we will get that review. So there you go. There's the app. That's a basic overview of the Refai app. It's a really powerful tool. We're really excited to launch this, and I hope you get as much value out of it as we have. We really love what we've built here, and yeah, we wish you the best on your mortgage reduction journey.